In today's video, we're going to look at two extremely popular synthesizers, X4 Studio's Serum and Native Instruments' Massive, to help you decide which synthesizer is going to be the best fit for you. Brett Pontecorvo here at livekeyboardist.com, where I help keyboard players just like you with the ins and outs of Ableton, with mastering, sound design, and with building a stable live keyboard setup. If you're new here, please consider hitting that like and subscribe button. So, Serum and Massive are both excellent choices. They come in roughly at the same price range, Serum at $189 and Massive at $149, but there are a lot of differences in the way they function. So let's have a look at what the websites are claiming about them, and then we'll try them out and we'll see which one works best. So let's start with Serum. Serum is an advanced wavetable synthesizer. Now, both of these synths are actually wavetable synthesizers. Why Serum? The dream synthesizer did not seem to exist. A wavetable synthesizer was a truly high-quality sound, visual creative workflow. Yeah, Serum is extremely visual, and I think in comparison to Massive, visualizations blows it out of the water. Ability to import your own custom wavetables, that is a wonderful feature that Massive does not have. Ultra clean oscillators, I'll let you decide for yourself. We're going to compare them in a second here. Modulations, makes it very easy to map modulations, although so does Massive. Real-time wavetable manipulations. This is almost an improvement on the way that Massive does it. It's got some filter types, although a bit limited in comparison to Massive, and it's got an exceptional suite of effects, which I can confirm they are beautiful. Advanced unison certainly shouldn't be overlooked either. It really handles that nicely, and we'll demo that here in a second. So, Massive, feature details, starts with macro controls, and Serum has macro controls as well. Most synthesizers do. This sound synthesis, basically what they're saying here is that the wavetables are set up in such a way that as you sort of move through the wavetables, everything ends up being even. Or the waves sort of start and finish at the same time, which is a nice touch. However, it doesn't let you load in your own wavetables, which is not the best. It does, however, come with 1,300 presets, which is pretty fantastic. Flexible routing is something that Serum does not have. Does have way more modulation sources than Serum, for sure. Changing the framework, I think this is pretty common to most synthesizers. And yeah, the library is definitely noteworthy in size. So let's go ahead and give these a go. So before we do any synthesizing at all, let's just have a look at Massive. So this is the user interface of Massive, and this is the user interface of Serum. And I guess this is just sort of user's choice here. I personally really like the way that Serum looks. Massive is fine, it works, but you'll see as we get into it, Serum, I think, excels visually. So this is Serum's default wave. This is just a saw wave, and you can see here, it's a pretty legitimate saw wave. So let's have a listen to Massive saw wave. So it's a little bit different, but what I want you to notice is that when you look at this through the oscilloscope here, depending on where this wavetable position is, it's actually a completely different waveform, and there would be no way for you to know that because Massive does not give any visualization at all, which I think is kind of a bummer. But in terms of sound quality, maybe Serum's a little bit louder right now, but I think they are just about as good. Now, what's nice about Massive is Massive has 3 different oscillators plus a modulation oscillator, and in Serum, we're only given 2 oscillators and a sub-oscillator. Now, you can do plenty with this, but if you're looking for something that has a ton of oscillators, Massive is going to be a better option for you. Something else that Massive does that I really like that Serum does not have is it allows you to send certain amounts to 2 different filters. which is a really nice touch. So if you've got perhaps your first wavetable up here, you can actually filter these differently. And you can assign different volume amounts the same way. And I think this is particularly useful when you're doing something where they're pitched really differently. So that's just a really nice feature that Serum does not have. Now, another thing Serum doesn't have is this sort of complex routing system where you can actually send feedback from a couple of different points. And you can create some pretty insane sounds that way. Now, Serum excels because you can kind of see what you're doing. So, not to be overlooked is that, we are working with our ears here, but when we see what we're doing, I feel like it just really helps us to understand what's happening. So, this is the default sound here, but I'm going to get just some basic shapes. So being able to see where we are, I think, makes a big difference. And it's got a ton of different morph modes. So if I wanted some pulse width here, I could apply that very easily. And then I'd also be able to see what's happening, unlike in Massive, where everything is truly done just with your ears. Now, something that is nice about Serum is that Serum allows you to choose what goes into the filter. So, for example, if I just wanted filter A, I would just tick off filter A. And it would mean that the rest of these are not going through. It also allows you to very easily key track. It's got a great drive feature and several different filters as well. And then these envelopes are really easy and super visual. You can kind of just click and drag them and make it happen, which I really like. It sort of feels easy to use, and Serum really excels in that because it's like, yeah, Serum is meant to be really user-friendly. When we do the same thing over in Massive, you'll see, not that there's anything wrong with the way this is done, but it's just a little bit different. It's a little bit different to use. Now, in terms of mapping, it is exactly the same between these two different programs. You just kind of click and drag them over, and that works the same in Serum. Now, something that Massive has that Serum does not have is this stepper. So you can create step sequences, and I'm not going to go super into detail with this, but if you were to drag this over, depending on how you set this up, it's going to change your pitch for you. Now, there are workarounds to get something like this to happen in Serum, but nothing dedicated in such a specific way. And there really is a ton of capability within the synth. Now, Serum has great effects, which shouldn't be overlooked. Hyperdimension does some awesome things. Sort of like a chorus flanger. And it does have an extra filter here just in case that appeals to you. I find that I don't use this a ton. Every effect in here is golden, every single one. So when you're buying Serum, not only are you getting sort of access to the wavetables or whatever, but the effects are certainly not to be overlooked. Now, one more key feature of Serum that Massive does not have is the ability to drop in an audio file and have Serum transform it into a wavetable. So Massive does not allow you to do this at all, but this is a really awesome feature because I've got this wavetable now just created from anything. So it sort of feels like the options are endless. Now, Massive has 1,300 presets, which is a ton of presets, and Serum is only coming in with 450 presets. But with these wavetables, you kind of have the option to create a pretty unlimited amount of sound. So which one is right for you? If you are somebody who does a ton of tinkering and is going to want to do things like send your sound from the feedback of the first filter into the oscillator, you're somebody who wants a ton of oscillators and you're going to be using a lot of sequencing, I would say Massive is probably the way to go. If you are somebody who wants to get a great sound really quickly, I would say that Serum is the way to go, because Serum is really no frills. It's all right there, it's all very easy to use, and it's all really fast. But make sure you tell me in the comments below what you think. Is Serum or Massive a better synthesizer? Now, if you're still not sold on Serum or Massive, I want you to check out this video where I compare Serum to Pigments, which is another fantastic option if you're looking for a third-party VST. And if you're looking for fantastic piano sounds, I put all of the Native Instruments piano sounds head-to-head in this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please consider hitting that like and subscribe button, and I will see you next time on livekeyboardist.com.